Woo! It's that time of the day, that time of the week. Time for hooking up and tracking down 1130 The Tiger. This segment brought to you by Cypress Knee Outdoors, Coastal Conservation Association, Louisiana Charter Boats, and the Red River Waterway Commission. I'm Gary McCoy, along with the Ranger, Iowa Pro staffer Steve Graff, the old Mud Hen, Mr. Tournament Director himself, Mike Eccles. And, you know, not just because Mike was a member of the Shreveport Fire Department for 118 years, but because this man meant so much to so many people, especially young men throughout Shreveport, for a number of years, and kind of offered them that father figure that in a lot of cases men didn't have. There's no way we could allow this day to go that we don't mention the passing of former Shreveport Fire Chief Dallas Green. Visitation tomorrow evening.
Visitation tomorrow evening, Roseneath, South Side. The service Friday morning at the church caddy corner of Byrd High School.
Okay, gotcha.
And I've got the name of it, but we have lost a historic icon,
an institution for Shreveport.
In our Dallas Green came to work. I don't remember the dates. Worked 40-something years on the fire department. Worked about 20 before he became fire chief, and was known across the country as one of the finest fire chiefs ever.
I can know him, yeah. Wow.
And after he retired, and it's a shame, but after he retired, became a very close friend to myself and some other of the firemen that started spending time with him. Sandy Davis, Barry Lewis, Vaughn Jordan, Ronnie Jordan.
So he mentored a lot of people.
He really did. And
he
was our boss that would eat your butt out while he was working.
Yeah.
But after he retired, he became a friend.
I was wondering, because a lot of guys, while they're in a position like that, they don't feel like it's right to be friends, mm-hmm. Right? But then when it's all said and done, for you to, and you know what? I mean, he told me this, and I've told you guys before. He told me this a long time ago. He's like, you know what? He said these mamas got their boys for 18 years, and then they send them to me to raise them. And you think about it, I mean, literally, that's pretty much young, wet behind the ears, high school kid, just finished up school, and now, he's got his first full-time job, and he's working for Dallas Green, and Dallas got to make a man out of him in short order.
And he did most of them. And the ones that he didn't, it wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
So, and Dallas was a key figure in a book, The Commissioner, about George Dartois.
Oh, really?
And we all know that book was about some pretty shady stuff that went on in our area.
Yeah.
And there was nothing shady about Dallas Green ever in the book.
Wow.
He was the good guy surrounded by some different stuff at that time. Mm-hmm. And he stood out, and he kept his
You want to feed me too?
He kept his persona, and he kept his I'm lost for word right now, but Dallas Green was a great man.
Yeah. Everything I've heard of, I did not know the man at all, but from what just you two have told me, this guy, he's one guy I'd love to have known.
Gary and I were talking the other day about Dallas Green being in real bad shape, and Graff said, well, I didn't know he was sick. He thought we were talking about Dallas Miller.
sorry, Dallas, you're listening.
Totally different story there. Hey, today's show is going to be huge. We've got some promotion for you of the upcoming Boat Show Bass Tournament that Boss is putting on, that Eccles has got. Some outdoor news for you. The second in our series of famous outdoorsmen today, Grits Gresham and Jim Shockey. We're going to give you a list of their highlights. Also on the show today, Chris Giordano. He is the director of the 2016 State Fair Boat and RV Show. We'll have him on the show, kind of give us an idea as to what all you're going to be able to see when you go out to the State Fairgrounds this weekend. Kelly Haydell getting us ready. We checked a minute ago. Duck season in the West Zone goes through January 24th. Right. So, we're in those really late season ducks, but from the guys that I've talked to, finally we're starting to see some ducks. So maybe he's got a little insight.
I don't know who you're talking to.
Talk to my son. My son was just covered up in ducks Saturday.
Where?
That's a secret.
Oh.
That's the secret. You know,
That costs you money.
Yeah.
If you don't know that knowledge.
but I'm going to tell you, if those people ever find out that he launched this P-Row there in their yard on the East Kings Highway Bayou,
Well, and one thing we're going to do, we're going
He's
to
hunting with a loaf of bread and a broomstick.
well, and speaking of loaf of bread and food, Mike has made us up a tomato pie.
oh my God.
And we got to post this on our Facebook page. We'll get the recipe for it. But I'm going to tell you, of course, the greatest thing, the blue jeans are the greatest napkin ever.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we don't have a napkin, so I'm just using my jeans. So.
Yeah.
But this, hey, Mike, this is really good. I'm
That's
enjoying it.
awesome. Did you ever make that at the fire station?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
You guys eat good at the fire station.
Yeah, they do.
Have to. We don't have anything else to do.
You got to get that up. Kelly Haydell, like I said, he'll be back on the show.
Cherry
Dennis TJ.
Yeah.
From Louisiana. I want to say he's from Roanoke, Louisiana. And you'll have to check me on that, but I don't know exactly where that is.
It's South I-10.
Oh, well, you can bet on that. He is an Elite Series tournament pro. He's going to be on the show with us today. And this one's kind of cool. Our Gamakatsu topic of the day today. What's really the future of fishing in this country? You got to think, where are we headed? Are the Democrats going to just tell us nobody else can hunt fish? Is it, are we in the last few days, the last generation of fishing?
Have we already seen the good old days?
Or is it going to be bigger and better than ever because we are fueling the fire of these high school anglers?
Yeah.
And they are showing out. I mean, they're taking the country by storm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a facet of the fishing community that's growing by leaps and bounds.
Steve just mentioned what state's fixing to ban
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire
Yeah.
jig heads and weights.
Lead.
Lead.
Yeah, lead
Okay. What better way than to educate the up-and-coming voters
You bet.
than the high school and the collegiate?
Right. If you want this to propel into the next generation, that's the generation that you've got to attach yourselves to right now.
Yep.
And the fact that these kids are, on the lakes competing, and some of them, have butted heads with some really, really great anglers and have come out on top. So it could very well be that, that they are.
Well, this is a result of a 5-year study, too, that we're going to go over today.
Okay.
So,
and our buddy Steve Nichols is back again today. I can't wait because he's finally getting to, he's starting to book trips now for the upcoming season.
2016-17 hunting season.
And one of those trips, most of the stuff that Bucks and Bulls outfitters do, most of the stuff they do is all about the trophies.
Right.
And if you're looking for a trophy, Bucks and Bulls is the right spot to
they're
put
the
you
guy
there.
service you need.
Right.
Yeah.
Mule deer, elk, whatever you're looking for. But if you've never harvested an elk, they got a new area, I think late last year, in Colorado. And he's got a limited number of trips that are going to be available for that. And you can go shoot a cow.
Yeah.
And what a great introduction into the sport, to where you get out there and it's not quite as expensive as one of the trophy
This
trips.
is a working man package.
You bet.
I know some guys shot cows in East Texas where I grew up. They used to go shoot cows.
Different
cow?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, those cows usually had a bell hanging
I
around
won't
their
call
neck,
names,
milk
but-
bucket,
I saw a flying saucer pick the cow up and dissected it.
That's a trailer park.
Okay, some outdoor news for you, and since we mentioned,
But first, we got some Obama stuff. That,
Uh-oh.
Obama's been in the news a lot lately, and of course, Mike's going
Had
to
the
tell
State
us
of the Union
more.
last night.
Yeah, exactly, which was a great speech. Mike's got some more stuff on.
Oh, that's
Obama.
right.
We talked about this last week. Everybody said Obama hadn't done anything, but he accomplished a lot.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we started off
yeah.
last week, and this is a list of things that Barack Obama was the first president to ever do.
Yeah.
We did about 15 of them last week. We're going to do about 15 this week. Barack Obama was first president to have a law signed by an auto pen without being present. Without being president. He was on the golf course.
Yeah.
First president to arbitrarily declare an existing law unconstitutional and refuse to enforce it.
do you know which one that was?
He's not president, he's king.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dictator.
He was the first president to threaten an insurance company if they publicly spoke out on the reason for their rate increases,
Wow.
which he caused.
Wow.
He's the first president to tell a major manufacturing company in which state it is allowed to locate a factory. He's also the first president to file a lawsuit against states he swore an oath to protect: Arizona, Wisconsin, Ohio, and Indiana.
Wow.
He's been busy.
Aren't y'all proud of the president y'all have elected twice?
The legacy he leaves behind is just
it's going to be tough to beat.
I wish he'd leave behind.
Okay, some outdoor news. We mentioned this a second ago, so we might as well kick it off with this. New Hampshire about ready to ban lead sinkers and jigs.
Yeah, on June 1st, the sale of and freshwater use of lead fishing sinkers and jigs, which is lead-weighted hooks, weighing 1 ounce or less, will be banned in New Hampshire. The new law does not apply to lead core line, spinner baits, buzz baits, spoons, poppers, plugs, or flies. The New Hampshire Fish and Game Department said that that loons and I don't know if they meant Looney Tunes or just loons, that loons and other water birds can die from lead poisoning after swallowing lead fishing sinkers and jigs lost by anglers, and up to half of dead loons found died from the ingestion of lead sinkers or jigs.
What do you think? Overkill?
My idea of using lead on these kind of animals comes from a gun, so that'd be my only.
Now, question. I'm assuming that this was a big problem, that they had thousands of dead loons.
No, probably not.
Hundreds of dead loons.
Probably not.
Probably not. I'm
Tens of dead loons.
maybe 10 total.
That's the scary part.
It is.
And that's what we've gone to in this country, where the minority controls the majority.
Right.
And in that particular situation, that's a living, breathing example of what's going on.
It's called overreaction.
How many loons were killed that flew into power lines?
Yeah.
How many loons were killed that flew into the windows of buildings?
How many loons were hit by boat props because they swim underwater?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, are we going to outlaw those things as well?
We'll all be in jet boats for long. No more props.
Here's another example, and I can ruffle some feathers here. The American bald eagle. They found a few of them dead because of eating something that had been killed by DDT.
Mm-hmm. And so we outlawed DDT.
We outlawed DDT.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. Was DDT was DDT
at that time the only thing that would kill fire ants, which have swept the nation?
Right. I was going to say, was that brought in just to handle mosquitoes and fire ants?
I don't know.
I don't remember the reasoning either.
Yeah.
But we did away with it. Now the fire ants have taken over half the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No telling how much and deaths from fire ants.
Yeah.
People, I mean.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Livestock.
Well, I can see
literally.
like kids, maybe sitting in the bed
one of the biggest things that kills newborn fawns.
Yeah.
Fire ants.
And I believe
all of that.
they can devastate a quail population.
Nobody's more patriotic than me.
Yeah.
I'd give up a few eagles
Right.
to bring DDT back.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
This was one that was all over the country because of the search. Country singer Craig Strickland and his friend Chase Moreland found dead after embarking on a waterfowl hunting trip just north of Tulsa, December the 26th. It was kind of odd in that Moreland had tweeted right before the guys went out. He says, "Hey, in case we don't come back," he says, "Craig and I are going right through Winter Storm Goliath to kill ducks in Oklahoma." Well, he had just tweeted that December the 26th, and then Moreland, their boat was found capsized December the 28th. Moreland's body was immediately found that day, along with Strickland's dog, Sam. And from what we were told, the dog wouldn't leave Moreland's body. Now, it was Craig Strickland's dog,
right,
but he would not leave Moreland's body. And then Craig Strickland's body was found January the 4th, and from what I read, he had made it out of the water,
yeah, exactly,
and had crawled up a hill
Top
about
of a
75
ridge.
yards to the, and was found laying prostrate, essentially in a cross position, looking up towards the sky. And they said that it looked like his last attempts were to try to get his wet clothes off, his waders off. And man, what you just cannot exercise enough safety when you get into a situation like that. And there's times, you know what, I guarantee the three of us have all been there in weather conditions on Toledo Bend, Sam Rayburn, Lake of the Pines, where water gets really rough, and we didn't need to be there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
And you know what? When you find yourself in one of those positions, it doesn't hurt anybody's pride to get off the water for a little while.
Well,
Let this blow through.
In today's final word, I make reference to this and talk about it just real briefly. But also, one other thing. Train wipes out an entire elk herd. A herd of elk east of Helena, Montana. Well, I played baseball in Helena, Montana. Was hit by a train traveling on December the 30th, killing 23 animals. The elk were not salvageable for human consumption, and the Montana Rail Link and game wardens removed the carcasses. So, my gosh, can you imagine?
I'm going to author a bill.
For railroads to be outlawed.
Yes, we got to get rid of trains.
Trains.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
We killed 23.
100% of the elk herd tested was the victim of trains.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
They
scientific.
got to put elk warning signals on the front of trains now so they won't hit them.
Stick tight now. Next in our series of famous outdoorsmen today, Grits Gresham and Jim Shockey. We are hooking up and tracking down 11:30, the Tiger.
I catch 'em, God cleans 'em, I bait the hook.
Five.
This segment presented by Daiwa Rods and Reels, Bayou Outdoor Supercenter, Toledo Fiberglass, and Candyman Pet Lodge. Now here's the three guys who Candyman Pet Lodge turned away due to the fact that they already stay in the doghouse. Steve Graff, Gary McCoy, and Mike Eccles.
And here in a minute, famous outdoorsman today reviewing Grits Gresham and Jim Shockey. First, though, a quick word from Daiwa Rods and Reels.
With fishing season now upon us, it's time to pick out a new rod and reel combo. Combo that is made with precision and quality components designed to make you fish better. Daiwa. Daiwa's entire line of rods and reels are the best you'll ever fish with. So go to Bayou Outdoors, Toledo Town and Tackle, or Cypress Knee Outdoors to see everything Daiwa has to offer. Or go to Daiwa.com, where technology and fishing all come together.
You know, a lot of people don't realize this. But, you know, all over sports radio stations and news radio stations all over the country, and now even on television, guys have gotten really, really, really into watching shooting sports from Tom Gresham.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
Gun Talk.
Gun Talk. And let me tell you right now, if you want to know anything about shooting sports, you know, Tom is one of the most educated guys out there, and he started, you know, like they say, the acorn doesn't fall far from the tree. He started in the footsteps of his dear old dad. And that guy was Grits Gresham. Was born June 21st, 1922. He was with us until February the 18th of 2008. Grits was an internationally known American sportsman, author, photographer, and television personality who hosted ABC's The American Sportsman series from 1966 to 79. Gresham, who resided on the historic Cane River Lake in Natchitoches, the oldest city in Louisiana, traveled throughout the globe, particularly South America and Africa, to engage in hunting, fishing, and shooting with various American celebrities. Gresham was born in Spartanburg County, South Carolina, to Claude Gresham Sr. and the former Bell Hill. He inherited his name from his father, a semi-professional baseball player known as Grit. Gresham grew up in rural South Carolina and as a small boy was so interested in hunting that he slept with his air rifle beside his bed. He took his first shot of the day out of his bedroom window. Two things were going to happen every day when I was growing up. The sun was going to rise, and I was going to shoot something, Gresham said in a 1996 interview.
Now, also, I want to make a correction here. It says Louisiana, Natchitoches, the oldest city in Louisiana Purchase. It's the oldest city in Louisiana Purchase.
Oh, yeah, that goes all the way to
to Montana.
yeah.
almost.
Canada.
So, Canada. So
Before Gresham began his long career in outdoor journalism, he signed a baseball contract with the Chicago Cubs organization, but never played. He attended on a baseball scholarship the Blue Ridge School for Boys, a private male boarding school named for the Blue Ridge Mountains and located in Hendersonville, North Carolina. In February of 1944, Gresham married Mary Eleanor R. Gresham, the daughter of a physician in rural South Carolina who attended a private school for girls. He called her a steel magnolia. I wonder if that came into play later.
I wonder.
yeah,
The Greshams had 3 children, one of whom is a radio talk show host today, Thomas Gresham of Tom Gresham, the host of Gun Talk. Gresham worked for the United States Fish and Wildlife Service and therefore edited the Louisiana Conservation Magazine. He was the former outdoor editor of the Shreveport Times also. Gresham succeeded former Governor Joe Foss of South Dakota as the host of The American Sportsman. He was therefore joined by Kurt Gowdy as co-host. Gresham further hosted Shooting Sports America, sponsored by Chevy Trucks on the ESPN network.
yeah.
Speaking of legends,
Oh, we got one standing in the doorway.
Oh, I thought you were referring to me. I was like, well, thank you, Mike. For 26 years, he was a shooting editor of Sports Afield magazine. He also was also published in Sports Illustrated and Gentleman's Quarterly. He just might be more famous, though, for his fish-telling stories as he appeared in television commercials for Miller Lite beer. Gresham died February 18th of 2008 at his home on Cane River Lake in Natchitoches, small city just north central Louisiana. Complications from Alzheimer's, pneumonia, and an infection. He spent most of his last years in a nursing home there in Natchitoches. His famous books, The Complete Book of Bass Fishing, Fishes and Fishing in Louisiana, Fishing and Boating in Louisiana, The Sportsman and His Family Outdoors, The Complete Wild Fowler, I almost said flower, The Complete Wild Fowler, Grits and Guns, Grits Gresham on duck hunting, that's a video. Grits Gresham on goose hunting is a video. And Weatherby, the man, the gun, the legend. So Grits was just a icon.
Do you remember the little hat he used to wear?
Yeah.
What do you call that little hat? Did it have a special? Because it looked kind of like a little cowboy hat, but it was a 3-corner hat.
I think it's just a wore-out cowboy
it's
hat.
kind of the same kind of hat that Don Williams wears.
Yeah.
you're
Don
exactly
Williams,
right.
country singer. Yeah.
That's it.
That is Grits Gresham, and if you didn't realize just how important he was around the country, you know what I didn't know is that he was the outdoor editor for the Shreveport Times.
didn't either.
I had no idea.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. Next in our list, Jim Shockey. Jim has been an award-winning outdoor writer, wildlife photographer, videographer, wilderness guide, and outfitter for nearly 30 years. He owns several exclusive outfitting territories in the wildlands of Canada, including, I've never heard those words put together before, the wildlands of Canada, including the renowned Pacific Rim Guide Territory on Vancouver Island, British Columbia, and the famed 12,000 square mile Rogue River outfitting in the Yukon Territory. His television productions have won 15 Golden Moose Awards from 2009 to 2015, and he is accomplished in archery, muzzleloader, and rifle. Serves as the honorary lieutenant colonel of a 4 Canadian Ranger Patrol Group, Canadian Armed Forces, and is a member international of the Explorers Club in New York City and works in production with his entire family, Louise, Eva, and Brenlin.
That's the most important thing he's done.
Yeah, that's the best,
Eva.
the best thing he's done.
Yeah. Jim has attained 88. Wow, what a deal. 88 world records for the SCI and over 400 total record book entries. 13 Boone and Crockett's in total. All-time record book species taken with a muzzleloader and 1 official world record muskox for Boone and Crockett. During the course of his adventures, he has taken numerous muzzle-loading world records, including stone sheep, bison, Roosevelt elk, shirus, moose, muscat, walrus. I didn't know you hunted them. White-bearded wildebeest, Grant's gazelle, stenbok, and many more. He's the first hunter to complete the North American Super Slam and Ultimate Slam using only a muzzleloader. Jim has written 3 books and published more than 1,000 adventure articles for the largest outdoor magazines, including American Hunter, Outdoor Life, North American Hunter. He has produced over 50 DVDs and hosts Jim Shockey Hunting Adventure and Jim Shockey's Uncharted, now airing on the Outdoor Channel.
Yep. Jim Shockey also was formerly an All-American swimmer at the university level. He was a combined biology-psychology major. He then played on the national water polo team for 6 years. Jim participated in both the 1978 and 82 aquatic world championships, but did not attend the 80 Olympics because of the international boycott against Russia. Jim is considered to be one of the world's foremost experts on ethnocentric folk art forms from Western Canada. Jim dealt in and still collects tribal art, artifacts, and antiques, and his collections have appeared several times in Country Living magazine and Century Home magazine. Jim's head over heels in love and married to his best friend Louise, a former actress. Since the early 1980s, the two have 2 wonderful children, which we've already alluded to. Current count on number of different species Jim has harvested, 340 different species. What are all the awards from SCI? He has won awards: International Hunting Award for 2012, Professional Hunter of the Year Award for 2009, CJ McElroy Award for 2009. Anyway, numerous other ones. Which Outdoor Channel Golden Moose Awards. He won the 2009 Best Overall Production and Best Blooper Video. Jim Shockey's Hunting Adventures in 2010. He won the same thing: Best Sound Design, Best Overall Production, Fan Favorite, Best New Series for the professionals, and Best Big Game for Jim Shockey's Hunting Adventures. Like I said, all kind of stuff. This guy has really done.
And you know what, Mike? You got some insight on Jim Shockey that I didn't know. Because I got to tell you, it got to the point to where I thought when I watched him, unbelievable with a muzzleloader. Regularly taking shots at over 250 yards with a muzzleloader.
Yeah.
And successfully. But I thought to myself, this guy, I don't know. I just thought he was kind of pompous, and I thought, you know what? I don't know that I'd like to hang around that guy. And you found out something totally the opposite of that.
And it's funny. I'm guilty of it. I guess other people are. You watch somebody on TV and you form this opinion of whether they're a nice guy or a jerk.
Right.
We do. Like us.
Yeah.
Good thing we're not on TV very much. But talking to the renowned artist, Don Edwards, last year, he was at the Dallas Safari Club convention, I believe, where it was at. And he spent extended time with Jim Shock, extended time with a lot of well-known outdoors hunters and stuff. And some of them, he said, were their personalities really lacked, put it that way.
Right.
Jim Shockey was not one of them. He said one of the nicest guys he ever spent time with, sit and talk as long as you wanted to talk.
That just tickles me to death.
It does.
I'm glad to be wrong about that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because, you see some of these guys and you wonder, if you'd like to be in a duck blind or a deer stand with them or out in, the camp, and hanging around. And I like Ted Nugent. I think I just enjoy that just because he is so weird.
Right. I actually interviewed.
You don't
Ted.
get enough of that here.
We did that interview together
from iCast.
But I honestly think that he'd be that kind of guy. I'd love to just spend the weekend with Nugent, just because he does not.
I want to sit with him by a fire and just, chill out
Yeah.
and say, man, what's on your mind? You know,
Yeah.
I just like to hear him talk.
Long live the beast. The
I'm
beast
telling
is
you.
dead. What does that mean? What does that mean? Long live the beast. The beast is dead. That just does not add up in my brain.
And real quick, Mike, we've got somebody listening to the show that they actually do not schedule appointments between 11 and 1. He's told his secretary.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know this guy. I hear the story. We got a gentleman that works for Edward Jones. I think his name's Alex.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I found out through a friend of mine last week, Homer Matlock, that Alex listens to the show every Wednesday in his office. Does not schedule any appointments between 11 and 1.
I love that.
So,
That's what I'm talking about.
if
Alex,
you're
you're our new
listening,
best friend, brother.
Alex
Telling
and
you.
Edward Jones, thank you, and we're going to get you hooking up and tracking down. Hey,
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
take it.
Exactly.
And one other thing, last night with the Niagara Central basketball game,
Yeah.
I'm on the very top tier, and a bunch of guys come up and they see me sitting there, and I don't know these guys from Adam. They go, hooking up and tracking down. They said, man, we watch y'all every week, you guys also. I said, well, I appreciate y'all listening, or watching. They said, man, we don't miss it, man. They were just great
Well,
guys.
good deal. Hey, listen, here in just a sec, Chris Giordano, the director of the 2016 State Fair Boat and RV Show. If you're planning to go this weekend, or if you really hadn't even thought about it and you'd like to hear what will be there, Chris is going to fill us in. That's next, hooking up and tracking down, 11:30, The Tiger.
My dog ain't got a pedigree. If I have my say.
You're listening to the Hooking Up and Tracking Down show presented by Nichols Department Stores, J&J Exterminating, and Haydell Game Calls. Take it away, guys.
You notice, he's got Cat Scratch Fever playing in the background.
I see that.
You know who sang that, Mike? Ted
Nugent.
There we go.
I wanted to play Fred Bear, but we don't have it in here. It's my favorite Ted Nugent song ever.
It's probably on YouTube somewhere.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. Long and short, we are hooking up and tracking down 11:30 The Tiger. And here in just a minute, we're going to visit with Chris Giordano, the director of the 2016 State Fair Boat Sport and RV Show. Of course, we would be remiss if we didn't go back into some of the more wonderful things, the things that no other president has done than our own president, Barack Obama. First president to do a million different things.
Man, unbelievable.
3 or 4 pages. And so Mike's got us 5 more of these.
Stand up and honor this guy.
Well, in honor of that, that wonderful state-of-the-art address, State of the Union address last night. Good night.
Yeah. Barack Obama was the first president to withdraw an existing coal permit that had been properly issued years ago. He's the first president to actively try to bankrupt an American industry, the coal industry. He's the first president to fire an inspector general of AmeriCorps for catching one of his friends in a corruption case.
That really happened.
Yeah, you mess with my friends, I'll get you fired.
Yeah.
First president to appoint
That's okay.
45 czars to replace elected officials in our office.
Wow.
45 czars.
Wow.
And he's the first president to surround himself with radical left-wing anarchists.
Wow.
That's a busy man.
Obama just fires people, but the Clintons have you knocked off. So, pick your poison, okay?
Chris Giordano on the phone, the director of the 2016 State Fair Boat Sport and RV Show. And Chris, I mean, it's almost showtime, bro.
Hey, Gary. Hey, guys.
What's up?
How you doing?
Good.
Boy, all that talk a minute ago was starting to depress me, so let's talk about something positive.
Hey, now listen.
I heard he was the first one to shut down a boat show. We better be careful.
Oh, no, we can't have that. It is becoming a dictatorship.
Yeah. All right. Now, question for you: is everybody moving into the? I got to mention this. Mike just slid his chair into the desk and just pinched the fool out of his finger.
I'm the first person in the world to have a fatal accident in a recliner.
Yeah, he'll be losing a nail by Saturday.
But anyway, everybody's starting to get moved into the fairgrounds, aren't they?
Yes, they are. I tell you what, we've had several dealers already move in. Bayou Outdoor Super Center, which they've got a ton of product out here, boats, campers, motorhomes, new exhibitor this year, Camping World. They're just about completed moving in. Water Moccasin is moving in. We've got a lot of dealers this year, and if you got just a second, let me list them. We've got Bayou Outdoor Super Center, Camping World, Campers RV Center, H&W Marine, Water Moccasin Outdoors, Morris Pro Gator, Webster Boats, Marine Specialties of Louisiana, Futural Marine of Arkansas, Ski and Sports from Tyler, Texas, GNC Honda, Rock Power Sports, Golf Cars of Louisiana, Fairway Carts, Commercial Power Equipment, Mosier Power Equipment, and Shreveport Tractor.
Wow.
Some of those are sponsors.
Dealers here.
Yeah.
Some of those are sponsors.
Now listen, you know what? One of the things that you brought new this year is ice skating there in the Old Hearst Coliseum. That's going to be a huge attraction, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Well, thanks to Tommy Scott and Scott Musket and their group, we will have public ice skating throughout the weekend. Friday, their hours are from 6 p.m. They're actually going to run after our show closes at 8. They're going to run till 10 o'clock. And then Saturday and Sunday morning, they have youth hockey tournaments beginning at 8 in the morning and going till about lunchtime. And they're open to the public. It's free to go in, watch the kids play hockey games. And they've got some out-of-town teams coming. And then right after lunch, they'll open up for public skating for the remainder of the show, both on Saturday and Sunday afternoons.
And I want to put in a plug for old Chuck Klucher. I talked to Clutch.
That's his new nickname.
Yeah,
Clutch Klucher. That's him. I know that fella.
That's a great nickname, Clutch Squiggly. Chuck Klucher, and he's involved in the hockey end of it. And he wanted us to encourage the people to come out there and bring their kids and let them ice skate. And it's really neat because they've named the ice skating rink. You can see it under the ice as George's Pond, and that's
cool.
Chuck's son that we lost a few years ago.
Yeah.
Huh.
And it's very, very, very important that we support this new hockey facility.
Okay, also this year.
And Mike's going to weigh some fish right in front of George's Pond Saturday.
That's what I wanted to get into.
I'm glad you said that. I thought you were going to say I was going to skate.
We're going to get video of that.
Bayou Outdoor Super Center, the Big Boss Landers Ram 2 Fish Bass Tournament weigh in right there Saturday after. What time is weigh in?
The weigh-in, you have to quit fishing at 3. You have to be in by 4. You can fish 10 different lakes. Friday night, the people are already registering. We've had more pre-registers this year than ever, and still the most people register Friday night. But 5 o'clock to 5:30 Friday night registration rules meeting starts at 6:31.
Now you said 5 until 5:30.
I was wrong. I realized I said that.
Okay.
5 to 6:30
Right.
is registration, and everybody fishing the tournament. If you're looking at the Hirsch Coliseum, if you're standing right there looking at the blue tournament trailer, the building to the right.
Okay.
Is where the rules meeting and registration is going to be.
So
Friday
it's to the
night.
right of the Hirsch Coliseum if you were looking at the front door of the Hirsch.
Yes, towards the Independence Stadium.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's where it's going to be. Come in
Okay.
there, be there between 5 and 6:30, and then the rules meeting. One member from each team does have to attend the meeting. Chris Giordano and them are giving $500 away, a drawing. Any fisherman, any of the teams that come back to the weigh-in, even if you don't weigh in a fish, your name goes in a pot. We're going to draw a name out. Somebody's going to win $500 just for coming back to the weigh-in.
And if somebody's not fishing the tournament, I mean, let's just assume that we're talking to some people that just want to see some big fish. Scales will be open at what time?
Oh, they'll be open by about 2.
Okay.
I really wouldn't expect anybody to come in before 3. But you never know.
Okay. Now, one of the other things that you're doing this year, Chris, is you got monster truck rides.
Yes. We had a fella call us from Mississippi about a week ago, and he wants to bring his truck over. It's riding shotgun with Brett Favre, and we'll have monster truck rides. We have a mechanical bull coming. We have a Euro bungee coming. We have a giant.
Whoa! A Euro bungee?
Yeah, that's the bungee that has the 4 stations, for the kids. We've got inflatable events doing a giant kids area with a zip line and inflatables. We've got pony rides, camel rides, and we've got a kids rainbow trout fishing pond sponsored by Barksdale Federal Credit Union, where I think it's about the only place in Louisiana that you can fish for rainbow trout.
Yeah. Now, question for you on that: do those kids keep those fish when they catch them?
No, it's catch and release.
Okay, good. I was just trying to find out. I didn't know if I was going to have to stand out back and bribe little kids to, I can buy those fish off of them and have a good fish fry that evening.
Well, Chris, it looks like too we're going to have some great weather this weekend, so it should be I'm expecting a really good turnout.
Well, we've been very fortunate with the weather each year. I don't know what it is about that third week of January, but it's been good, and of course we're hoping and praying for good weather again this weekend, unlike our state fair this past year.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
really.
God love you. You know what, though? From what I was gathering, you're going to have a lot of the food vendors that you had at the state fair. They're going to be bringing their food in to the boat show.
Yes, we've got corn dogs, funnel cakes, Philly cheesesteak, sausage, everybody's favorite, Uncle Ray's Cajun Kitchen.
Oh, my God. Is that the guy that does the ribeyes?
Yeah, the ribeyes.
Oh, my God.
Dude.
That ribeye sandwich,
Yeah.
I will hurt you over that.
Off the chart.
I will hurt you over that. Go ahead.
Parking's free. Admission is only $6 to the show. Children under 12 are free, so it's very affordable to bring the family out. We have everything for the kids, for mom, for dad. Plenty of product out here, so it's a great place to go get your new toy, your new RV, ATV, boat. Product will be discounted for the show, and this kicks off the 2016 outdoor season.
Hey, Chris, what's not the ag building? What's the other building that I asked you about last night?
The exhibit building.
The exhibit building. Ladies, go in there. My daughter is going to have a origami owl jewelry. I don't know. It's just a bunch of jewelry stuff that she makes in that booth out there. So
Okay.
it's in
Oh,
the
wow,
exhibit
that's cool.
building. Go in
Yeah.
there and see Tricia.
Well, Chris,
I know one of my ladies here is going to go see her because she says she loves that type of jewelry.
Oh, yeah.
And Chris, another thing too that a lot of people don't really understand. I have people ask me all the time, when's the best time to buy a boat or RV? And I tell them, go to boat shows because those guys are making their best deals of the year. They've got to pay for their floor space. They're really wanting to move product, so they're making the best deals of the year during the boat show usually.
Absolutely, and you don't have to drive all over the place.
No.
Everybody's here at one place.
That's right.
And ATVs. I mean, that was one of the things that you mentioned a minute ago. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are going to show up, and maybe the old ATV just ain't going to make it anymore. Maybe you guys are into going up to Muddy Bottoms or some of the other area ATV parks. With the lineup that you've got coming in there, with what they're going to be bringing, side by sides, the regular 4-wheelers, this is going to be a huge event.
Well, I just realized it's the only time of the year that we have a quote auto mall for boats, RVs,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
ATVs.
that's true. Yeah.
We're auto malls. All the dealers are side by side.
Right.
The only time of the year you can go look at all of them without getting in your car and driving 20 or 30 miles in between.
That's right.
Chris, in closing on this, one thing that you would say, that you feel like will be the biggest attraction.
Besides the fishing tournament.
Man, it's hard to say. It's all good. The show's built around these dealers, and that's the cornerstone of this show. And I thank all of the dealers because they're spending a lot of money for their floor space here. And my most important strategy is for it to be successful for the dealers. And then, there's a lot of great things in addition to recreational product dealers, and the ice skating that's something new and different this year, and I think that'll add a special touch to it. And hats off to Tommy and Scott and George, Chuck, and them.
Clutch, yeah.
Clutch.
Yeah, old Clutch.
Hey, Chris, another thing that I heard that you're going to do for the winners of the Boat Show Bass Tournament, that like when me and Gary win this, you're going to put us on the hood of your truck and ride us around?
Is that what? Yeah, that's true, right?
You and Gary are fishing it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you guys win, we'll put you up in the man lift about 60 feet in the air and ride you through the show.
Oh, he'll be on the front of his
Hey,
golf
Chris,
cart.
I strongly suggest if they win it, you put them under the truck instead of up on top of it.
Mike will make us take polygraph 4 times.
It's going to help us at the gate if you guys are out on the water.
Hey, man.
Hey, that's what I'm on. I already asked Mike that. I don't know how he's going to operate without me out there.
I've got one gate covered. I'm looking for somebody that's willing to work the other gate right now. So,
Hey, Chris Giordano, you busy Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, about 2 o'clock.
I might be hauling you guys to the way in my golf cart.
There you go. There you go.
Chris Giordano, the director of the 2016 State Fair Boat and RV Show. It's this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I guess you just go to statefairlouisiana.org to get all the information on that.
.com. Louisiana.com, and all our boat show stuff's right there on the homepage of our website.
Well, thank you, brother. We really appreciate you.
Hey, save me and Gary a ribeye now.
And save us a little ride on that 60-foot high.
You got it. And I think in Kiss Country coming out to do.
You betcha. In fact, our own little stink bait or whatever he's
Top water. Yeah.
Jay Watley.
I'll be there.
Jay's going to be there Saturday, and then I'll be back out Sunday afternoon from 1 to 3. Jay's going to be there Saturday from 11 to 1.
Hey, we got a little music playing too. Friday night, Landry and Company, and Sunday, the Blake Brothers Bluegrass Band.
All right.
It's really, really good. You know Charlie Blake.
no.
Okay, I figured he was a Shreveport police officer.
Oh, I
His son and those guys.
I probably got his signature on some papers in my house.
Thank you, Chris. We appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Chris.
Sit tight. Kelly Haydell is up next about his favorite ways to cook duck.
Yep, recipes.
You better sit tight. Get your writing pencil ready.
Exactly.
So you can get all this down. It's hooking up and tracking down. 11:30. The Tiger.
I couldn't wait to leave this place.
Welcome back. This segment presented by Ranger Boats, Toledo Bend Lake Country, Santone Lures, and Bellevue Meat Processing. Speaking of processing, these guys are still trying to figure out just exactly how this show works. Gary, Steve, and Mike.
Hooking up and tracking down 11:30. The Tiger, Gary McCoy, along with the Ranger Pro staffer Steve Graff, Mike Eccles, the old mud hen, and here in just a sec, Kelly Haydell from Haydell's Game Calls. First, quick little word from Spro Lures.
When it comes to catching fish, no one does it better than Spro Lures. Stick baits, crankbaits, and the best frogs on the planet, Spro will help to ensure your live wells are full of fish. When top-name pros reach into their tackle box, they want a proven lure that they know will help put a paycheck in their hands. Spro, making lures that do one thing: catch fish. Go to SproLures.com to learn more. Spro, taking fishing to the highest level.
All right, Kelly Haydell from Haydell's Game Calls on the phone with us. Kelly, you ever had tomato pie?
You know, I have not.
Wow.
Always wanted to try it. I had a friend of mine from high school, and they were talking about it and said that it's just absolutely dynamite.
Oh, my God.
If you can get here in the next hour, there's 2 pieces left.
I think Steve Nichols has already called dibs on one of those two.
That's true.
Eccles made this tomato pie, and I'm telling you right now, how long did it take you to put that together?
5 minutes.
Yeah, and literally one of the best, or not hors d'oeuvre entrees I've ever had.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that good. Is it good for you, or will it kill you dead?
Deader than a hammer.
Okay. I'm just telling you, if it won't kill you, it's not fit to eat.
What a way to go.
Okay, your favorite ways to cook duck. Now, one of the things that Eccles also introduced to us here a couple of years ago was essentially a blackened duck.
Yeah.
Son, I mean,
Duck is dynamite.
I used to throw away every duck, and now there's no way. You'd have to pry a dead duck out of my cold, dead fingers.
Well, the good thing about this is everybody that eats it likes it, and they think that it's filet.
Yeah, it's like
pieces of
steak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So it doesn't have the duck taste, which is okay with me, but I love duck. So, but we're always looking for new recipes, and none of them's better than Kelly Haydell's.
And Kelly, we're going to post these. Kelly has actually sent these to me. We're going to post them on our Facebook page as well, along with Mike's pineapple tomato pie. We'll post that on there.
Coconut head.
And Clutch Klucher is.
We're just chomping our words today.
Yeah. So what? I mean, if Kelly Haydell was going to sit down right now, he had 5 big duck breasts. What's his favorite way to cook them?
You know, here's the thing about duck breast, and Mike's got it figured out. Blackening is a hot temperature, quick way of cooking something, and cooking duck breast really quickly on high heat and not overcooking them is the key. It is extremely important not to overcook duck breast. And so what I love to do the blackening thing, but I also like to do a spicy teriyaki grilled duck breast. So, I mean, if you have if you already have your favorite type of teriyaki sauce, great. Use it or some type of spicy teriyaki marinade. I've got a real simple one where I use, some soy sauce, brown sugar, cayenne pepper, garlic powder, a couple of other ingredients. One of the things that I do is I put some canola oil or vegetable oil in there. Duck breasts do not have any type of fat on them. So what I do, put oil in there, mixed in with that marinade. That allows everything to kind of seal, and once you hit the grill with it, it helps it not to dry out near as much. But I marinate the duck breast for anywhere from 8 to 12 hours. I get my grill just blazing hot. I live in a pecan orchard, so I usually throw a little piece of pecan wood over to the side just to get a little smoky flavor on there. And I'm going to grill them for only 2 or 3 minutes on each side because I don't want to overcook them. I am a firm believer in cooking, whether it's beef or especially duck. I'm all about cooking it medium rare. I have never caught anything. I've never gotten sick. I know people worry about temperature on stuff. A duck is not a tame domesticated bird. I don't think you're going to run the risk of catching anything. The great thing is it's free range. You know, you're eating organic, free range duck breast. So I love it that way. You know, you cook it for a few minutes, let it rest, just like you let a steak rest. Let it rest and cut it across the grain, and serve it with any kind of dipping sauce or however you like it.
Wow. That sounds good. Now, what about? I have fried duck breast before, kind of like deer steak.
That's where I was going. Yeah.
With maybe marinate them in an Italian dressing or something like that.
Buttermilk
and batter them up and fry them. You ever done that?
I have, and I actually take the little, when you just like on a chicken or any of your birds, you got your duck breast, and then underneath that you have your little tenderloin. Well, as I'm cleaning my birds, I take all my little tenderloins and I set those aside. And when I get a quart Ziploc bag, of course that would have taken all season this year.
You better go for a tablespoon.
Get a quart Ziploc bag of those, and man, it is time for some serious hors d'oeuvres. And what I do is, instead of using egg wash or buttermilk or anything, most of the time you're at the camp, you don't have all those things with you, but somebody usually has some ranch dressing around. Take that ranch dressing, squirt some in a bowl, and add a little bit of water just to thin it out about to the consistency of buttermilk. Use that as what you're going to dip it in. Get your flour, salt and pepper your flour, or add Tony's or whatever your favorite spice is. Mix all that those little duck tenders up in that ranch dressing that's been thinned out. Flour them and flash fry them for about 90 seconds is all it takes. That meat's real thin. Just want to get them floating to the top. As soon as they're floating to the top, pull them. And I tell you what, it is popcorn duck tenders, and it's awesome.
We're going to Kelly's house for the Super Bowl. We'll be over there. You just tell us what time we're eating. We're on the way. Kelly Haydell from Haydell's Game Calls. And like Steve promised earlier, we're going to have all these recipes on the website for you, and we'll get Mike's recipe for that tomato pie as well. Kelly, thank you, brother. We got, 2 more weeks of duck season, then we're done in the West Zone.
That's right. And I will be at the SHOT Show next weekend, so I may be giving y'all a report on some new products that are coming out for the industry.
Oh, cool. Fantastic.
Yeah, cool.
Kelly Haydell from Haydell's Game Calls. We are hooking up and tracking down 11:30 The Tiger.